So my name is Juliet Goodden, and that's the name I work under. I've been living in this part of London for the last 5 years, and but I've really moved around a lot. And so, although I grew up partly in London, and I know London really, really well, and I was a student in London, I've also strong connections with the country, Cornwall in particular, and possibly the sort of art scene there a little bit. But I really like it here, and I live in Harrow, which is nearby. It's just north of here, and I really like the sort of mixed community of this part of London. So, although I didn't choose it particularly, I'm delighted to it, and I find it really, really inspiring for my work. The work that I've got in this open studio is all recent, and it seems to be quite a lot to do with transport, and it seems to be quite a lot to do with the environment and with people in this part of London. And when I work, it's always just like about my environment. It's always a response to what I'm surrounded by. It's a very sort of instinctive thing, my work, and I can't always tell what it's about until after I've done it. So it becomes evident to me what my interest is. Although I have a plan to start with, I can't necessarily tell what the plan is completely until the work is done. Why do I do what I do? Because if I don't do it, I feel like my life is far less rich. When I do it, I feel engaged with my practice, I feel engaged with sort of outside, I feel excited about it, I never know what's going to happen when I'm working, and it is most stimulating and rewarding thing that I do. My most recent materials that I'm using other than paint is graphite and oil pastel, and I've got large drawings that are of the street, and those are predominantly pencil and then with some colour of oil pastel in. Somebody said to me, who was a curator, he said, it looks like you're just colouring in. And yeah, the colour's not everywhere, but I'm using the colour in the way that it interests me, because the fact that a lot of the pictures are about architecture and there's a lot of red brick in them, I don't really want to do a lot of pictures that are all red brick. So that's not what's drawn me to the subject matter. So I'm putting in the colour of the bits that have drawn me to it, really. And I really, really like the pencil and the graphite. And it's sort of a little bit kind of composition, abstract, but you know, we've still got the sort of fronts of the buildings in, or the fronts of the front door really in. I don't know about what message I try to convey in my work. I think it is perhaps to look at things. I think it might be my message, might be, you know, that everything is interesting to look at. And the sort of subtleties of colour, and sometimes I paint in places and people say, why are you painting here? These are ugly houses, or it's like, you know, we live here, why aren't you painting somewhere else? It's ugly here. And then when they see your picture and they see the picture's not ugly, then they feel better about where they live. And there are always things, I think, that are interesting. And you know, as time goes on, ugly houses today won't be considered to be ugly. The new ones will be ugly. And so I do sometimes paint things that other people aren't really looking at particularly, I think I do that.